Imagine you're a second grade teacher, and as you are teaching your science lesson, the kids begin to get antsy. Sure, they're in second grade and they're going to be antsy anyway, but it is beginning to interfere with their learning. Lunch and recess are not for another 2 hours, and you only have PE once a week. And of course, that day is not today. With everything you were expected to do, how are you going to get your students to focus? Before I began researching how physical activity affects children's focus in school, I knew very little. I know that children need to get out and play for 90 minutes a day and that they should have recess for 30 minutes or more a day in school, but that was it. I have been told these little things for children, but why are they so important? Are they really helpful for the students? What I want to know is, how does physical activity and movement help students in the classroom? More importantly, what can I do as a future teacher to help my students in my classroom? I am all about a healthy lifestyle, and I know we cannot expect children to sit in the classroom for 6 to 8 hours a day and have them be healthy, active adults. I want my students to be healthy and active and enjoy learning. But if I can't get them to pay attention in class, how can I do this? As I began researching, I thought about the ideas that I've had for my future classroom. I have seen the yoga balls for students to sit on or the pedals beneath their desks and thought these were great ideas. The very first article I pulled up, titled "The Right and Surprisingly Wrong Ways to Get Kids to Sit Still in Class" by Valerie Strauss. The picture was of students sitting on yoga balls. Perfect, so I thought. What I found out though was that these are a great quick fix for students who need to move, but they need much more than that. Strauss brought up an experience called the rapid vestibular balance input, saying that this is exactly what the children need. In other words, they need to go upside down, roll down hills, and move in all different directions. These movements stimulate little hairs found in the vestibular complex, located in the inner ear. Children need to do this for a substantial amount of time, and often, in order to develop the balance system, leading to better attention and learning in the classroom. I continued to find more ideas of what to do in the classroom and came across a lot about brain breaks. Every time I looked something up with physical activity and how to get students focused in the classroom, brain breaks would show up. Now I've seen these before, but what exactly is a brain break? Brain breaks are 5 to 7 minute segments of physical activity aiming to improve the physical health, mental awareness, and education success for children. These are also to be non-academic so that the children are actually taking a break from their schoolwork. These brain breaks can be easily incorporated into the classroom every day. They can be the first thing in the morning, at the end of the day, or between and during lessons. That's the best part. When teachers hear that children need more physical activity, they laugh. They know it's true, but they know that nothing will change to make that happen. It's impossible to make recess an hour or to have PE every single day. Brain breaks are a way every teacher can help their students. One interesting article titled "Why Students Need Brain Breaks and How You Can Help" by Sally Kuzemchak showed a CT scan of the brain when sitting sedentary and after a 20-minute walk. When sitting quietly, the brain is very calm. However, after going on a 20-minute walk, the students' brains are much more active and colorful. When the students are sedentary, their blood is settled, but when they get moving, it circulates much better throughout their body and back into their brain to keep it flowing. When students begin getting fidgety, it is because their brain is craving that movement. But as teachers, we often tell students to sit still and pay attention, even though their brain is wanting to fall back asleep because it is getting no movement. Ideally, the real goal we should have is to have a school similar to the Finnish. In an article titled "How Finland Keeps Students Focused Through Free Play" by Tim Walker, I discovered a completely different way of teaching. As Walker was a new teacher in Finland, he stuck to the American way of teaching, where you teach all day until recess, lunch, or specials. When this was stressing his students out, he began to teach the way they were used to. That is, for every 45 minutes of direct instruction, they have 15 minutes of free play. Immediately, Walker noticed a bounce in the students' step as soon as they came back from their 15-minute break. The most important part of the free play is that the students choose what they would like to do. It is not teacher-directed at all. Although this is a great practice, it is unlikely that we will adopt this way of teaching anytime soon. I interviewed an old PE teacher and athletic director of mine who is very passionate about getting students moving. Amy Driscoll is currently a teacher in South Korea at a Department of Defense school with a bachelor's degree in health education and 12 years of kindergarten through 12th grade teaching experience. In our email interview, I asked her why it is important for the students to have physical activity throughout the day. Of course, she said exactly what my research had found. That research shows positive correlation between physical activity and academics. So I asked what were some ideas she had to improve this in our schools, to which she responded that we needed to ensure we were fulfilling the National Association for Sport and Physical Education's recommendation of 150 minutes of instructional physical education per week. They need to have recess in addition to those 150 minutes of physical instruction, not included. Mrs. Driscoll also stated that teachers can help through brain breaks, including Go Noodle, and to never take away recess as a punishment in the classroom because it does not do anything but harm the child's learning. So I took all of this information and I thought about it. My mentor teacher in my field-based block does not do brain breaks, and her students are very fidgety. One of the days that I spent the entire day in the classroom, I asked my mentor teacher if I could do a brain break with the third graders. She was all for it. Knowing my students, I knew that they were into music and loved dancing, so we did one of the kids' Zumba from Go Noodle. They had a blast pausing in between lessons to have a quick dance-off. After they finished, I could tell that they were a bit more energized than usual and followed all of the expectations set. I have learned that the best thing I can do as a teacher is add brain breaks and movement into my classroom. As we continue to fight to adjust the curriculum and the standards that the children and teachers are having to face, the best thing we can do is use these ideas. The more we fight and show proof of the effects of movement, one day we'll have a long, unstructured break and students who love to learn.